They all should be.
Mine wasn't, but it is now.
That's a shame.
I'm leaving mine off,
How you know it's,
because the red light ain't on.
no, my red light's on.
All right, I will call to order the December 9th Tipton Common Council meeting. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will start with minutes of the last meeting.
I move to approve the November 25th, 2024 minutes as written.
Motion by Rich, second by Ken. Any questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes pass. Any amendments to the agenda? No. First meeting of the month. We'll move on to Board of Works and Safety. Ken, you want me to do that or you got it?
Okay.
Okay. It was just Ken and I today, mayor's at mayor's conference. We got an update on the cemetery and the park. Both boards are reporting today, so I'll skip over that. And we also got a report from the street department. Mostly things there are going as expected. We do have, this council needs to probably consider and discuss the bulk trash, how we want to continue with that. It's costing us a little more than we're making. Could be worth the cost, but it's just something we need to be cognizant of. City Garage is continuing to maintain and equip police, sanitation vehicles, cemetery vehicles, and changing out some snow plows for the snow that we hope doesn't come. Leaf Vac is running. Will continue through the 13th of this month. Dora signs are up. They've been busy changing out fall decor for Christmas decor in town. The other thing we did, Evan was able to come from code enforcement. Judy was out today. We did talk about moving forward with an order to demolish the red brick there on East Street. We're going to send one last notice and start gathering bids to have that demolished. We've sent that order to demolish a few times. We also got an update on 525 East Jefferson. It's been a kind of a problem property with some nuisance, possible people living in campers. For a full case report on the code enforcement, we have copies. It's been busy as we continue to try to clean up and address some problem issues. So that was it for Board of Works. But we did have a firefighter resign. We got an email, didn't we? Asking for interviews.
We do.
Like
Was it at the last meeting or-
No, it was an email saying we need to conduct interviews ASAP.
Nice to know.
I'll check to see if you were on that. Maybe I misread it, but, and that was it for Board of Works and Safety. Move on to the Cemetery Board.
I was unable to make the meeting. You have the minutes in your packet, so
Park Board.
Park Board is not met.
You can know me.
At the last, I believe at the last council meeting, the resolution to establish a
Yeah.
statutory board, I don't believe the mayor has appointed those positions yet
For January.
for January.
Do you want to give any updates from Diana?
Diana gave a quick report on the park. She said the punch list is complete for the trails, but obviously those of you that go by the park see that the utilities have gotten to that point with the new sewer line. Hopefully they'll be done with that pretty soon. They've been there quite a while. She attended some maintenance training, doing a little bit of maintenance updates at the pool, on the pool building. So that's pretty much it.
Excellent. Okay. Nothing under new business or old business. Oh, yeah, Utility Board.
Utility board met last Monday. Jim said that the sewer main coming from 31 is almost completed through the park. I believe it may be completed now. The water tower is starting to get taller, and he says everything's running great. That's pretty much it.
Excellent. Does anybody have anything for new or old business? We did have a working session before this meeting. It was really productive, so be presenting a lot of things coming up in the next month or two. Mayor's not here, so we'll move on to resolutions and ordinances. Resolution 2024-37, a resolution to transfer within the general fund the following appropriations for the golf grounds.
Make a motion to accept 2024-37.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded. Anything you want to add, Tammy? No? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 2024-37 is approved. We also have Resolution 2024-38, a resolution to add a designated permittee to the City of Tipton's designated outdoor refreshment area, otherwise known as DORA. This permittee is the American Legion.
American Legion, yeah. I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-38.
Second.
Motion by Ken, seconded by Rick. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 2024-38 passes. Then the last one, ordinance 2024-17, an ordinance amending the text of the zoning ordinance for solar energy conversion systems. Second and final reading. First reading was last meeting.
I move to approve 2024-17 on the zoning ordinance.
Second.
Motion by Rich, second by Tim. Any discussions or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I'll abstain because I wasn't here. Ordinance 2024-17 passes 4-0.
Just
All right, we move on to claims.
Rick,
Yeah, you're doing fine.
Rick can't pull it up electronically to sign. I hope I have it written down right. So, I move we approve claims 178031 to 178184 in the amount of $3,872,322.10.
Second.
Motion by Ken, second by Rick. Any questions on claims, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
That's
I will as well.
So 10, 8,
Yes, passed 3-0. All right, petitions, comments, and memorials. We'll start with anything from the council? Anything from the public?
Hi, it's Sandy Pumphrey at 306 Roseland Street. A couple of things. I came to the council several months ago and asked for them to review the handicap parking. Your work meeting kind of addressed parking. I'm guessing it wasn't established who the company was hired to do what we have currently. So I'm asking this council to review the handicap parking again. Also, I understand the DORA, it was a big deal, but what is the thought process to take DORA clear out to Hewlin Dentistry when that's all residential? I don't understand that. I understand you just approved to do the Legion include, but
Mhm.
residential sections, I don't get.
Yeah, the map includes going all the way out to the park. So I think that was why, to connect downtown and then our downtown adjacent partners like South Pole and them to the park as well.
So somebody could be drinking with a DORA cup in the park.
Correct.
Okay.
And technically, before the door, people could still drink in public. There is no law that said they couldn't carry around a beer. Now, if they're being disorderly, that is different. Or driving a vehicle.
Well, I just assume that people are gonna try to get away with as much as they can because it's human nature. So I'm guessing that maybe get-go needs to be, maybe somebody needs to watch, because I'm sure people are gonna go in there and buy a big Jumbo Coke and dump half of it out and put whatever they want to. So that's my only thought. I just couldn't understand the residential section. That's it.
Thank you.
Bob Edinger, Tipton. The follow-up, what Andy asked, if you could drink in public before, I'm trying to understand the purpose of the door. Thank you.
We've rehashed it. I'm not going to rehash it again. The door has been hashed and rehashed to the why, and we've had support for downtown, and it's been passed, so we're not going to unpass it. It's been talked about of the why. Main Street supported it. I think it's a good thing. You can't walk into a business with alcohol if they don't want you. You can't take a pour from a business and leave that business, but now you can with a approved door cup. So there are pros. Certainly there could be cons. The situation Ms. Pumphrey gave, they could do that today because they don't have a door or cup. They could go get a big gulp, make a Jack and Coke for themselves and walk to the park today. The door is just like everything. It's not going to stop anybody from doing what they want, right? They're still going to do it. It's going to come down to enforcement.
Just ask you. Next time.
Elsa Smith, Tipton Road. I just have a question with your water tower out at 28 and 31. Why is it being built by the sewer plant instead of by the water tower?
You know, I've neglected to ask Jim that, but it may be the best spot for it because the wastewater treatment plant won't be used anymore. So I don't know if they
It
thought,
won't be used anymore?
no, because all that's gonna be coming, the new pipe coming up 28, all that will be coming up 28 to go to the, that plant is in terrible, terrible shape. And the money to put it in the shape that it needs to be in would be ridiculous when you've got a plant right here that can control all of that.
I didn't realize
Yeah.
that. I thought it was being closed down to expand it.
No, it's being closed down because it's just not
Oh, okay.
any good.
Well, we just thought it was kind of weird that the water tower was being built by the sewer plant.
Yeah.
When we have a water tower
Yeah.
plant over there.
Yeah.
Just curious. Thanks.
Hello, Roberta Heinzman, 904 Mill Street, Tipton. I just want to go back to the punch list they said was complete for the trails. Now, we do not have trash cans. We do not have bicycle, what are those things called, to put your bicycle in?
Bike racks.
Play park, yeah. We do not have benches. And I thought those were all on the punch list. And that they cannot be ignored or,
Those were not part of the company that put the trail in itself, put the asphalt down.
is that
was-
the punch list for?
That was, yes, that was the benches, all the amenities that you were talking about was not part of that.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because, until those things are done, the state will not sign off on our trail, just to remind everybody.
Diane is looking for
Okay,
that information.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then is there any update on the baseball fields? I know it's only been 2 weeks.
I know Keegan put out something, a video announcement, and that's the latest information I think we have
Yeah.
on Facebook, the city's Facebook page.
On the Facebook page, I'll look at that. Then I have a question. How much was transferred from the general fund to the golf grounds?
Excellent question.
Let me explain that real quick. It's in his budget.
Oh,
It
okay.
was from one category for the other. It
We,
was not additional money.
3,950 came out of lines 116 for part-time wages. We took it out of part-time wages and moved it to 451 other equipment.
And remind me, is there a new golf guy out there?
There is, but it's not public at this time. I think that waiting to finalize some things, but they have made a new hire for the director of golf.
And I do want to thank the city. Some of my neighbors don't appreciate my continued,
Hounding.
yes, pounding and, and the police came right out the other day when I called them and said, this is enough. It's been sitting there for 4 weeks. It's enough is enough. I don't like to look at it. The lady they park in front of and jack their cars up in front, surely she doesn't look like it, and none of the other neighbors did either. And they came directly out and that has been fixed. So I just want everybody else to be aware, it's not that hard to get things done. You just have to be the squeaky wheel. And I find,
We'll give kudos to Jeff.
thank you.
Thank you.
Rob Cochran, 1033 Market Road, City Fringe resident. Tipton Main Street Association, we had our Tis the Season event on Friday. It was a huge success. So I just wanted to publicly thank you, the city, the Municipal Services Department, the Police Department, and the Fire Department for the road closures. Downtown was full of kids and pedestrians and filling our local businesses, which is what we're all about. So just wanted to thank you guys this evening.
Excellent job.
Thank you.
I know we were iffy on the closure of Jefferson, but it actually, I think, worked out really well. I was, yeah. I know you were iffy. I was 10%
He's looking at
iffy,
me because I
But-
was the one that wasn't.
but it just seemed so much safer and more spread out, and it worked out really, really
It
well.
did work out. It was, I was not surprised that I thought for the weather and how cold it was, there was a
Yeah.
nice crowd. It was
Very good.
well
Yeah,
attended.
I asked Shelley and she said around 1,000 if she
Yeah,
had
there
to
were
guess.
quite a few people down there.
The thing with the semi things, I don't know if the county, state, city, whoever could maybe block that at 550, because by the time the semi got down here, it was too late.
Yep.
There was nowhere for them to go.
Oh, they drive through the north neighborhoods. I've seen
Yes,
it.
it
North
was
Street.
awful. Bob and I watched them in front of the cleaners.
If they pay attention, I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
But maybe take it to 550, because if they're at the bridge
Yeah, it's too
on
late.
28 or whatever it's called, it's too late. There's nowhere for them to go.
I do want to tell you one thing. On the turkey trot, the initial turkey trot we did with the madcap, we made over $600 for the trails.
Sweet.
So just to be aware.
Good
If
for
you
a
see those
first annual.
people-
That's good for a first annual.
Yes, yes. We had 70-some people sign up.
Awesome.
And so if you see any of those people over at the madcap, please thank them.
So you're definitely thinking about doing it again next year?
Yes,
Yes,
I think they've already announced that, haven't they? That they were gonna do it next year.
yes. But there are some additional groups that want to work with that. And I think the Boy Scouts might be one, or the Scouts period might be one. So,
Excellent.
That's great.
Council, participation council. is so sweet.
Run?
We all have to wear turkey outfits,
Yeah.
flap our wings.
next year, if you show up, you do.
Uh-huh.
Anybody else? Speak.
Wait, I'm not positive this is the right venue, but Corey Parrish, we own the old Pioneer Seed facility. Wanted to know if there was any interest in us relinquishing the road that's now feeding the Humane Society, Marble Uniques, and our properties. We're getting quite a bit of damage from the semis that are turning around in there
Are they really?
and the additions, so
Always have.
it's been a struggle to keep up that little strip of road. And I'm not sure who even has easements to go back on there, but I don't know. It's basically just a question to see if it would
That's a good question.
be possible.
You guys have the storage?
We would have
We
a few
do.
options, including
I've been wanting to call you.
abandonment.
Yeah.
I got a fifth wheel I need to bring out.
Well, I've met with the owner of Marble Uniques, and it's one of those things where we have 5 or 6 different companies using that
Yeah.
road, and really neither of, I think I own it, but none of us really want it, so. Just curious to see if
Well,
there's any.
that's the one behind the buildings, correct?
It goes between Marble Uniques and that big concrete building, far west side
Yeah.
entrance.
Okay.
It's actually a road or a street.
It is.
It is?
That's what he's telling me.
Well, I think I actually own it, but it goes back to other companies.
Yeah.
And
So
so
what's your business?
it's just one of those.
So
things.
it's Marble Uniques, and then it's KC Motors, so it's that road in between there. We own from KC Motors to the Long White Building. So everybody that Marble Uniques uses it the most,
Right.
but now that the animal shelter is there,
Right.
that's a big traffic. So technically, our business doesn't use it very much, because we have a second entrance that Heritage is using over there. But everybody wants us to pay for repairs when we don't use it. So we're like, we
Just
don't really
curious,
know what
just
to do.
asking.
Yeah.
if it's possible.
We can look and see.
We'll look into
Question
it.
B, is it a platted road or not, or alley? I remember this when Havens was mayor. This came up at one point when a guy from Noblesville owned that property. I
Yeah,
cannot
that's-
remember his
he-
name.
He's not a good influence.
Yeah, we could not. Yeah, I remember that being a problem. So I pass that along and figure something out. At least get you
Yeah,
something.
I'm really curious. So I'm really curious about that.
Thank you.
Anything else? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Rick and Rich. All those in favor? Aye. We are adjourned. 23 minutes, not bad.
Yeah.
So the action, I want to let you guys know, to, last meeting, Mayor mentioned that we didn't get on the salt bid. I worked with Cargill.
Yeah.
And got an add-on to the salt bid, so we are good for
Okay.
next year. For salt.
Are we keeping it with the county again? or-